I'm pleased with the earth boxes, the way they're doing. I'm pleased with the organic fertilizer I use. I don't have to worry about the salt buildup in these containers like I would if I'm using granular fertilizer. Let me show you a quick look at my garden. These tubs, these earth boxes, most everything's in earth boxes. A few things over there in wicking tubs. We'll show you that in just a second. But these things are growing crazy. I've got, these are two different types of cherry tomatoes. One is a sun gold, one is a mountain vineyard from Haas. And just clusters of nice little tomatoes. Clusters of tomatoes, nothing ripe yet, nothing turning ripe. My neighbor said his sun golds are starting to turn ripe. But my, uh-oh. I see orange under there. We got a ripe tomato or two. Well, I take it back. Some of them are starting to make. Look at that cluster right there. Those are really nice. And again, that's the mulch I put on top. Showed you instead of covering the earth box with the plastic covers, this year's an experiment on covering with mulch. And so far so good. The plants have not complained at all. So let's look over here. Big boy, I think, pretty sure. Bella Rosa. Bella Rosa is covered in tomatoes. Those make pretty decent sized tomatoes. And then these three here are my favorite, and that's a red snapper. Red snapper have got a lot of tomatoes on them. Not as many as the Bella Rosa. I think the Bella Rosa might be an earlier variety. I've got some in there, I've seen them, but just covered in blooms. And so I expect that to really start making good. But that's what the tomatoes look like. I want you to look at these peppers. These peppers are already 3 feet tall, at least, and they're just now starting to put out peppers. I fertilized with the 543 organic fertilizer in these earth boxes. I used about 2 pounds because with organic fertilizer you use twice as much as you do in an earth box. You use twice as much as you do synthetic. That is the Marconi Red. We really like those. That's our favorite. This is a heatless habanero. It's called a roulette heatless habanero. Grown those. This is my 3rd year to grow those. These are 2 different kinds of jalapenos. And I forgot to mention, or failed to mention, that there's 6 plants in each one of these earth boxes. Where else can you grow 6 pepper plants in that small of a footprint? About 13 inches across, 14 by 29 or something like that. Where else can you grow that many pepper plants? The 4 on the outside are colossal jalapeno, I believe it's called. And the ones in the middle, my neighbor gave me, that's called a jalapeno fuego. It's supposed to be hotter than a regular jalapeno, so I know I'm not going to be able to eat it, but somebody will. And then over here I've got a giant cayenne. I forget exactly what it's called, but it's supposed to be a giant cayenne pepper. And I'm already getting some peppers there, although that looks a lot like a jalapeno. Maybe it'll get long and skinny like a cayenne. I don't know why I planted these, just kind of on a whim. It's 2 different kinds of gourds. Got them in this cage, so it'll grow up this cage here. I'll show you my cages and how I built them in another video. But this is a speckled swan, 2 of those, and 2 of the Caveman's Club gourds. Over here I've got squash. Those are 3 earth boxes that I made, or clones that I made, kind of similar to an earth box with the water reservoir in the bottom and such. But these are 2 different kinds of squash. That is called a slick pick. Never grown that before. This is called a gold prize. All these from Haas Tools. I've grown the gold prize last 2, or this is my 3rd year, I believe, to grow those. Really like those. I mean, they're really good. I'm not a squash guy, but they're really good. I'll eat these out. The gold prize, I eat out in the field. I'll just break the top off of it and take a bite. It's pretty dadgum good raw. Sugar baby watermelons in an earth box. Sugar baby watermelons in an earth box. Sugar baby watermelons in an earth box. And this is called a Lily Crenshaw melon. I'm gonna train these to go out there that way. They've got about a 15-foot area to grow out in, and so hopefully they will cover that area real well. My mulch is getting thin, so I'm getting some vegetation in here, so I wouldn't mind them covering that vegetation up. And here's my experiment on red snapper versus Halcinator tomatoes. I don't, they're so thick that I really can't see inside. I probably should have just planted one plant in there. All these were fertilized with the 543 organic from Haas. It's called a complete organic fertilizer. Just really have gone crazy. I've got a cage around them, a short cage around them, and I'm just rethinking that, wondering if I shouldn't have put a large cage around them, because this one right here, that's the Halcinator. It's already 1.5 feet above the cage. There's the top of the cage right there, and it's already 1.5 feet above that. So I don't know, we may have some falling over, but we'll see. The Halcinator looks to be a little earlier than the red snapper, because I've got some decent sized Halcinators in there. Where's it? I saw one on this one too somewhere. Well, I got these small ones here. But the Halcinator may be a little earlier than the red snapper, which would be nice. But I know I've got some red snapper down in there. I just, dadgum, can't see them. It's just so thick. I don't know how I'm going to see them to pick them. But well, I will one of these days. In these wicking tubs, I've got Deli Star Cukes. I'm just trying them for the first time. I've got a cage around them. I've got a Halcinator cucumber, which is supposed to be a good one also. Just mulched these real heavy a couple of days ago, like I did the tomatoes and peppers, and still got a little bit of grass I got to take out of there. But and then this is a Tabasco my neighbor gave me that I'm sure I'm not going to be able to eat, but we'll see. In one wicking tub here, I've got some nice cabbages. That's bigger, way bigger than a softball. That ain't bad. And every day it seems to be getting bigger, so that's doing what it's supposed to be doing. I got something eating leaves, but really, I just don't think at this stage of their growth, I don't think I'm gonna worry about it. May need to hit them with some 20-20-20, sprinkle some down in there, and then water it in real good, or sprinkle it down, go down the hole with it. I can always, what I typically do is just go down the hole. If I want to do 20-20-20, micro boost, something water soluble like a liquid fish fertilizer, something like that, I'll go down the hole and then put the hose down the hole to mix it up. Let it run good and hard for a few seconds to mix it all up down in there. Set it just sitting on the bottom. I'm pleased with the EarthBoxes, the way they're doing. I'm pleased with the organic fertilizer I used. I don't have to worry about the salt buildup in these containers like I would if if I'm using granular fertilizers. So go to my Haas link. It's an associate link of mine. Look around, see if there's something there that you just can't live without. And everything I've gotten there has been amazing. We got grass in this one. That ain't right. So let's pull that grass out of there. And that's how you weed a container. Then I'll take this, another little piece of grass there. Then I'll take the mulch and just put it back over where that grass was, and hopefully it will choke out anything else that might want to come up. But that's one reason I like containers. For as you get older, it's just better, I think, for me. And there's an initial outlay, yes, but when you split the outlay of a $30, $35, whatever they are now. I paid less than that, but I bought them on sale one time a few years ago. But if they're 35 bucks and it lasts you 20, 25 years, are you really spending that much money on them? I understand the initial outlay is maybe prohibitive. I get it. But really like the EarthBoxes, and you just don't have to make anything. You don't have to do anything like you do making wicking tubs. So that's a look at it, and so far, so good. I really like what I'm seeing so far. All right, we're gone.